The French Open wrapped up in Paris about a week ago, and now we're waiting for the next leg of the Grand Slam tournaments to begin at Wimbledon. In the meantime, we're kicking off our tennis coverage early. Here's Brittany with more.
The HCC Eagles district tennis team hasn't won a Grand Slam yet, but it could be well on its way. Since it got started in 2007, the group has defeated teams from schools such as Texas A&M, Stephen F. Austin, and Texas Tech, to name a few. And just recently, they walked away with its 13th conference championship at the Lone Star Conference Tennis Tournament. So here to serve up some knowledge about the HCC district tennis team are the coach, Carlton Abernathy, and two of the team's tennis players, Andy Tran and Timothy Russell. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So the team is a part of the Lone Star Conference. What is that about? Give me some background.
Basically, the Lone Star Conference is comprised of various, it started out as community college teams and eventually worked its way to where we got University of Houston into the actual conference, and then we went on to get Sam Houston State University, and then Rice kind of goes in and out of the conference. Some semesters they'll be in it, and some semesters they won't. So
you're playing against NCAA Division I teams as well. It's not just like a crew of community colleges.
Well, it's important to note that the conference tournament, or I'm sorry, the conference that we're in, what we do is we play against other club level teams, but we schedule at least 2 events per semester against specifically NCAA, sometimes Division I teams such as Prairie View A&M, and then a lot of times we'll play Division III teams such as Sul State University and also Schreiner University.
Well, several of the tournaments and the matches that you guys have played in use a World Tennis Team format. So what does that mean, and how does it affect scoring?
Ooh, World Tennis Team format. It's I'll say this: it's not for the casual fan. If you're a casual tennis fan, if you try and watch that format, it's kind of difficult scoring. But the way it's broken down to is 5 sets of tennis. You have a men's singles, a women's singles set, a women's doubles, and then a men's doubles, and then a mixed doubles, with the most emphasis being put on the mixed doubles set.
Well, let's talk a little bit with you guys. So I hear word on the tennis court is there's a little competition between the ranked players. Andy, tell me about that.
Well, yeah, we all try to get to the #1 spot. Just, because, you work really hard and then you try to get to that #1 spot and play your best matches against other schools. And, we're all friendly, but the competition in our team is pretty high, especially in the top 5. So.
It's always a battle. It depends on the day. Like Andy's backhand is on. It's pretty tough to actually beat him. And yeah, like it really depends on the day between the top 5 players. We all train really hard and we all play really hard and we all have a lot of heart.
Well, as I mentioned in the Open, you guys just walked away with your 13th conference championship. So Timothy, what was that win like for you?
Awesome. It always feels good to win, especially after training so hard, because while it's not an NCAA, we're not on scholarship, we do take it extremely serious, and every match we always encourage each other to play our hardest and to make sure that we don't walk away regretting anything.
Well, Carlton, going back to the rankings, how is this team organized? How can anybody just join with any level of experience?
Well, the unique thing about what we've done at HCC Tennis is that we've made it to where it's almost as if it's an open admittance policy. You can be anywhere from a beginner to an intermediate player to we've actually had a former ATP player on the team. And it works out really cool because even those beginner players, when they come in, they've never picked up a racket before, so we'll sometimes teach them how to play. Even some of our more advanced players will help them out and help them learn how to play. And it's set up to where, any level can come in, but we set aside those travel trips for those upper echelon players, basically.
So do you guys, I've heard that you guys are some of the ranked players. How do you help the ones who maybe need a little bit more work? Do you work with them at all, practice with them?
Yes, of course. What we usually try to do is give them tips to help improve themselves, like basic tips, and then we try not to give them too much of a advanced tip so far early. But anyways, like, yeah, we try to help them out, and you know, because sometimes like just feeding them balls or whatever, they can't understand the concept of hitting forehands or backhands. So we try to step in and, you know, teach them the concepts and help them improve their game.
Timothy, what can you add about that?
Well, I've been coaching professionally for 4 years, and there's a few other people on our team who also, you know, they have quite a lot of experience with coaching. And we basically, you know, we try to pass on the knowledge that we have already as coaches and as players to the, you know, to people who actually want to come out and play, because most of us are extremely passionate about the sport. And our main goal when we go out there to practices is not just to, you know, hit around, but to spread, you know, the love of tennis to other people and make sure that they come back.
Well, we have two of the guys here, but I want to talk about the ladies and give them some time. Carlton, can you talk about the successes of the girls on your team?
As a matter of fact, I always say that if it was not for especially our top three girls, Marnie Laney, Sylvia Lee, and then Mayua Truong, if it was not for those three girls, I don't know what we would have done the past 3 years of this tennis team, because they have literally stepped in, especially this last semester, and actually come in and you could make an argument that they came in and won that conference tournament for us, the last one. So.
Well, I want to jump to professional tennis, especially Timothy, with you being a coach and you guys having so much experience. So the French Open just wrapped up and the players were on the red clay. Now they're going to the grass courts of Wimbledon. In your experience, can you tell me, does the court matter, and how does that give an advantage to a player or affect their performance?
Well, it's a big change. When you go from clay to grass, clay is like a softer surface. The ball bounces higher. You're sliding around all over the place. You got to have really good balance compared to hard court. The ball is a lot slower. If you hit the ball, you know, if you're somebody who just tags the ball every single time, on clay, the ball's going to slow down. It's going to give your opponent a lot more chance to actually get to the ball. So you really have to construct the points on clay. You have to build the point every single time. On grass, the ball slides a lot more and it stays a lot lower. So, you know, it's easier to put the ball away. So it's a big transition for a lot of players, depending on, you know, a lot of things, how fast you are, if you hit the ball flat, if you hit the ball with topspin, things like that.
And what about when it comes to injuries? Can you preserve your body a lot more depending on the type of court that you play on? Andy?
I think it's fair. I think it's easier on the knees because a lot of tennis players in the top 10 especially, they like to slide around. So I think on clay and grass court, it's easier on your knees, on your body, pretty much.
Okay, well, real quick, Carlton, how can students get involved with this tennis team here at HCC?
Well, number one, you could definitely contact me, Carlton Abernathy. I'm the HCC head tennis coach, and we virtually, like I said before, we don't turn anyone away as long as they're willing to come out to practice, learn how to play the game, and willing to pick up a racket and maybe run a little bit, and that's about it. We practice basically downtown most of the time right now at the downtown Met, and it's really easy to get involved. All you have to be is an HCC student.
All right, well, hopefully we'll have some students catch this and join you guys for the upcoming school year. Thank you all for being here.
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Bogdan and Jason, I'm pounding an ace. Back to you.
Well, Brittany, you double faulted, so I win this time. So sorry about the ace, but you did not get it. Thank you, Carlton, for coming in, and we appreciate it. And we wish the guys the best of luck. Now we're up against another break. On the other side, we'll have plenty of soccer to talk about. We'll be right back.